They're not going to do that because then they'll be providing for black and brown Americans. Trust me, they'll have universal health and education once we all die off, and that's not happening. I mean, it's not the main reason. That's the marketing. The main reason is because it's capitalism, right? Healthcare, private healthcare is a ginormous industry that doesn't need to exist, that actually feeds a lot of mouths, right? A lot of fucking corporate executives, lobbyists, people making hundreds of thousands of dollars, if not millions of dollars a year, by basically denying people the adequate healthcare coverage that they actually paid into. And year over year, the cost goes up. That means people are making more money. The way to sell it to the broader population is by saying, well, you know, black people and brown people take advantage of this too. And they do that. They do that every day. That's why they lie and say, oh, immigrants are taking advantage of our free healthcare, like we have any free healthcare in this fucking country, right? And that's what it is. It's an effective message only in part because there's no one that's actually a lone voice or a unified front. No one that's actually putting up a unified front, rather. Sorry, not a lone voice. Advancing this like free healthcare alternative. Yeah, Trump says he's about to unveil a fantastic new healthcare plan for everyone with lower cost, better coverage, etc. He first said this just before he was inaugurated in 2017, almost 9 years ago. Yeah, any day now. It's called MedBeds. Are you doing a fan meetup in Beijing? No. But if you see me, you see me. You know what I mean? Oh, March is coming up. We had a change in the plan. Our girl Stella. Okay, our girl Stella is. How does it feel to be controlled opposition, brother? Hassan, you're owned. Desu, let the fats die. Lol. What the fuck? Wait, are the Dems capitulating on healthcare premiums to open the government? Sorry, I'm out of the country, so I'm not up to date. Yes, they did it already. Oh, my day-long follow is up. Wait, what? Oh, no. Why'd you ban him? I wanted to see. He waited for a whole day to say that. Come on, chatters. My day-long follow is finally up. Anyways, prayers up for your dog. Please try to be less of a shitty person. It doesn't make it okay just because you're grabbing your mic. What? Thank you for your brave take, chatter. We shouldn't ban people like that. That's a brave guy. He had an important political message. This motherfucker getting rage baited in China, brother. I am cooling, okay? I am chilling. I'm Bing chilling, okay? It's hard. It's hard for me to feel shitty because I'm in China. Okay, I'm Bing chilling in China. And are you guys heading out right now? Yeah, we are. Apparently, I think we were gonna go not antique shopping, but like learn about the history of antiques or something. And Stella was like, let's do something different. Let's do something cool. But March would not elaborate on what it actually is. So we are going outside. Yes, we are going outside once again. And we are going out to see the dynamism of China. We're going to go see China, baby. It's the Groypers in the chat coming to do fake concern. They're starting to flood social medias with it. They got in my DMs and sent insane shit. No, I know. They're... Wait, what? OJK? Those shops are closed? Wait, what? Okay, never mind. Maybe we're not. They're giving you a Lmao cut. Yeah. Pretty much. That's what's going on. Can't wait to see you hang with Jake and Bacon Waterland. Yeah. Why doesn't Bernie just out the Democratic establishment on the real reason why they sided against healthcare? The gropers go under your retweets as well. I reply to one of your retweets and they comment under my reply bashing you. I know, man. I know. There's also a lot of bots. I'm gonna be honest. I really want to see you from this trip. Was you joining in with the aunties in a square dance? So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna do lunch. Okay, Peking duck. And then after that, we are going to go speed dating. And we are going to rizz up Chinese moms for their daughters. Okay, we're going to go to a park. And apparently at this park, Chinese moms bring their resumes for their daughters to try to find an eligible partner. And Will, myself, and Austin Show are going to see if we are eligible. Okay? We do not speak Chinese. That sounds kind of cringe, not gonna lie. Okay, well, you don't have to fucking participate in, any of that. Okay? We're gonna do a lover host IRL. Yes, pretty much. Pretty much. And then after that, we're gonna go to some cool shops. But in the interim, I'm going to continue covering the news. We're not doing the antique shopping thing because everyone wanted to do stuff like workout and whatnot. And the antique shop in and of itself wasn't actually an antique shop where we go antique shopping. It turns out it was just like we were going to look at antiques and learn about them. It was more educational. Anyway, let's continue.
Seen that kind of offer from a Senate majority. During the historic roll call last night, I walked across the aisle and met with Senator John Thune, the Republican leader. I told him that I was counting on him to keep his word on this agreement. He assured me he would.
So this is part of the deal that there will be a vote in the Senate on extending the Obamacare subsidies, as you and Tammy Baldwin are introducing again earlier. Tonight, and they're going to, if it fails, it will come up again. Do you believe Thune is going to keep his word and have this vote in?
Yeah, I suspect that he will, but it's more or less a meaningless gesture, because you could pass it here in the Senate, but as you well know, you got to get past the House. You got to get it signed by the President of the United States. Do you think the President of the United States is going to sign that bill? I don't.
As you know, premiums are going up not just in Obamacare, they're going up for everybody.
That's right.
And one of the reasons that we've been told is because people are having trouble, healthy people are having trouble affording it. They're dropping out of the insurance market. And so the unhealthy people who are in the market, right, their premiums are going even more exponentially up than they would have.
Absolutely. I mean, that is look, that is what happens when you don't have a universal healthcare system. What we, as the wealthiest nation on earth, should be doing is guaranteeing healthcare to every man, woman, and child, and then you don't run into that problem. You're insuring healthy people, you're insuring people with cancer, etc. The truth of the matter is, right now, the function of the current healthcare system is to make huge profits for the insurance companies and the drug companies. It is a wildly inefficient, bureaucratic system that is driving doctors and patients and everybody else crazy. It is unaffordable. We need to get rid of it.
Yeah, in 2 hours. No, oh, sorry. Yeah, 2 hours and 30 minutes. 1 p.m. In 2 hours and 30 minutes. So it'll be it's 6 p.m. in Pacific time. Brother, I gotta sleep. I can't stay up that late. No, I'm not gonna be streaming it. It'll probably be either Will or someone else, whoever wants to stream it. they will be streaming it. I'm doing this.
After all that, a Democratic Party civil war is erupting tonight, just hours after a breakthrough on the government shutdown. 8 Senate Democrats broke ranks and they crossed the aisle to support a bipartisan spending plan.
No, I am going. Chatters, if something is not on stream, then we will vlog it, okay? Don't worry. There is maximum content for you guys. Calm the fuck down. News React in China. Guys, did you forget this is what I do? This is literally what I did. This is what I did when I was in Japan as well. Okay? Sometimes I feel like chatters are like babies with object permanence issues. Like this is literally what I did when I was in Japan as well. I wake up early so I can do the news. I wake up early so I can do news coverage. And then after, we go and we do like one fun IRL thing. And then Will and Caroline or whoever is like interested in streaming the other fun stuff, they stream it as well. And whichever thing that we don't stream, we actually film. Okay? That's always how it goes. Why are people behaving like it? Why are people acting brand new? Does China have clothes that fit you? I mean, I'm wearing the pants that I bought. And one time Republicans are about to totally self-destruct. Democrats rush in and do something that bails them out. Probably nothing. I mean, yeah, it's impossible not to fucking, it's impossible not to recognize it. You know, it's just, what are we doing? How many times? How many times does it have to happen? It is like if the Democrats are not the controlled opposition party, they're doing a really fucking shitty job, you know? If they're trying not to be the controlled opposition party, they are doing a horrible job. If they are trying to be the controlled opposition party, then they're doing a spectacular job. This is how the controlled opposition party would work, you know? Like, we like to think one-party rulership structure exists in other countries, but the Democrats basically operate as like the junior coalition partner that just goes, we can't do anything. Like, what the fuck are we doing? What the fuck's going on here? You know?
And in Georgia. And that, frankly, we were united around the fact that Democrats are the party that cares about people's health care. And that's what this fight was about. And I think the thing that stings the most is that not only the 8 senators who voted for this, but the reporting shows that there are a few more behind the scenes, apparently, that were telling them, please do this for us. We're more vulnerable than you are.
Right.
And that they didn't think that we were mature enough to hear that argument out loud, for them to come to us and say, these are the reasons we think we should take this deal. And maybe we should have taken it 3 weeks ago even, but right now I am hearing from constituents that are hungry. I'm hearing from constituents that cannot get to see their families. I am hearing from furloughed employees. So let's hold Senator Thune to his word. And apparently he and Dick Durbin had a conversation before Durbin, push this forward, where Thune said, I assure you I will bring this vote in December. That doesn't guarantee Mike Johnson is going to do it, though. But I understand the celebrating. I feel defeated by this. But Republicans still don't have a health care plan. This election will be about health care.
Yeah, I mean, that's true. But this is a big L regardless. It was an unnecessary self-own regardless. You know?
They are on the record again as not wanting to extend these ACA subsidies that mostly benefit their own voters. That is something that Democrats will be very willing and able to run on in 2026. And that'll spell electoral disaster for them. So it's not as if they're fully out of the woods here.
Joey, I was thinking about you earlier because I feel like you have your finger on the pulse of people. You fly a lot. You're back and forth a lot.
I do fly a lot.
And so the pain became so acute over this past week, and it's not going to stop for a while. You also had military people who were not getting paid. They were having to go to the food banks, for example. There's a lot of people that were dealing with this where the members of Congress.
I can't believe it, dude. The Republicans talking about like people in food banks and how devastating that is one of the craziest things. Okay? It's one of the craziest fucking things to hear from Republicans. It's like, dude, what the fuck do you mean? Oh, the poor working class individuals, the tired, the hungry. Trump, your guy, literally, personally cut Snap. And while he was trying to do that, while he was trying to fucking cut Snap, you were running around being like, well, it's all angry, entitled black women that want Snap anyway. Like, that just happened. It didn't, like, that didn't happen, you know. I mean, it did happen under the Reagan administration as well, you know, the welfare queens and stuff, but like, that has not stopped happening. It was happening last week. I was there. We were watching it, right? Like, there was fucking, we saw it with our own two eyes. Yeah, while they cut Snap, they went against Snap discounts too. It was insane. USDA tells grocery stores no special discounts for SNAP recipients. Like true cruelty, true evil, actually. Like, there is no other way to look at this. That was a week and a half ago, man. That wasn't that long ago. That was a week and a half ago. What the fuck are we doing? What the absolute fuck are we doing? Uh-oh. We got some hotties in the building. Oh shit.
Yeah.
We got the Chinese contingency in the building. We are Chinese. We're all Chinese.
God, your fucking shoulder is.
You know how to do the 早上好中国我喜欢冰淇淋 the thing that
Oh,
John Cena says.
You just said that so. No, I don't know how to
Okay,
do that.
so,
That was crazy.
早上好
早上好，
中国
中国，
我喜欢
我喜欢
冰淇淋。
冰淇淋。
No,
That's exactly it.
中国.
中国
Yeah.
中国，
See,
You
you,
said it fine.
no.
中
I
国，
need to make sure.
冰淇淋。That's the fucking John Cena.
Yeah.
Yeah, I brought a bunch of them. If you guys want some, down them. So what's the plan today? What are we doing today?
So right now I think it'd be really cute and chill.
Wait,
if we
hold
went
on.
Luxury goods shopping at a thrift store.
Oh, okay.
So if you, I
Wait,
sent
hold
you
on.
a whole video about it.
Yeah, I saw the TikTok. Hold on one second. Let me unlock the noise gate here so we can hear everybody.
Ice cream.
Ice cream.
Ah.
Yeah. So we I was gonna end the stream right now.
Oh.
And wait, have you worked out this morning? No. Do you want to not do that? Do you want to work out?
I was maybe gonna work out later.
Oh, later. Okay. I mean, will we have time later?
You work out tonight. After your massage?
Yeah, we're
Before
gonna
your
or
massage?
before the massage, maybe during the massage.
They close at 10.
Oh, we'll figure it out.
Okay. So what's the plan for the? Okay. So we might go thrift shopping.
So we're thrift shopping and then right after, depending on how long it takes to thrift shop,
Yeah.
afterwards we can go and do whatever we want. I can find something to do, and then we have to meet back here at 1 p.m. for like the lunch that they booked for us.
Yeah.
Which is gonna be like Peking duck, you know, like the roast duck. That's
Mhm.
like so juicy, delicious Beijing.
There is no
delicacy.
noise gate anymore, but she's just like
Oh, hi,
not getting
everyone.
picked up.
Oh, hello. 早上好中国我喜欢冰淇淋 So yeah, so today we're gonna go do the luxury goods thrift shopping, which is only like 10 to 15 depending on traffic away. Hi everybody. And then if we're still feeling like we want to be at like stay or leave, I'll figure out something else to do that's nearby. And then we're gonna come back here at 1 to go eat to meet up to eat lunch.
Yeah. And
because they're
who
gonna take us there.
want? Will, are you gonna stream that?
The lunch?
Yeah, lunch slash
Yeah, I can.
to build up. I mean, I don't know. Do
Yeah.
you want to do that?
I literally don't even know what our schedule is or what the.
Yeah. If you want to, you can stream at the luxury goods store.
No, I'm good. I
Yeah.
already did 7 hours. I did like a bunch of political commentary as well. I'm happy with my, you know.
Yeah, let's just do that and like we'll just like
Okay.
feel it out. We'll feel it out. I think the place we're going to later that I suggested, Nanlo Bushan, is like a very like cutesy, touristy old town
Mm-hmm.
with lots of little sweet treats and like souvenir shopping.
Oh, big chilling.
And we aren't. I don't know how many opportunities we're gonna get that on this trip, but I think that that's like one of the cutest things to do here in Beijing.
Okay.
Yep.
One of the thing that I really want to do definitely on stream is the
The marriage market. So I'm super confused as to why we're allowed to stream that. When I was with Jake and Bake in Shanghai, somebody came up to us and told us to turn our cameras off.
Oh, well,
Because-
Speed did it too. I think.
And they let him stream it?
Yeah.
That's crazy that they let him stream it because it's all personal information it's basically real life Tinder profiles. That
Yeah, but it's
boomers
like
are holding for their
I know,
millennials.
but I feel like it's
I
not.
love that's gonna be so much fun.
It's crazy.
Do they only do it for straight couples?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you need to laminate your profile?
It's all like printouts from like
I was hoping to wear his
Betamax.
profile around my neck like his parent. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do it.
All right. Well, we're gonna do we're gonna do that later, and that's gonna be on Will's account. That's gonna be on Will's stream. That's in like 2 hours from now.
I hope that one of the translators can like really help us translate.
Oh, yeah, no,
'cause
they
they're
will,
gonna-
yeah.
They're gonna probably say
pissed.
a lot. Well, no, but like also the old ladies and like they'll probably be saying words that I don't understand.
Well, can we buy? Okay. We can buy stuff, right?
At the marriage market.
Oh.
yeah.
No. So I was thinking we were at
What are
the.
you looking for?
No.
Yeah,
No, no,
sir.
that's not-
My
I'm-
son
I'm
goes to
looking-
Harvard.
I'm
No,
looking
I
for-
was thinking. I don't know why my brain. I got ADHD and then I got distracted and I thought we were talking about the
Luxury goods.
luxury goods. Yeah.
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 I don't know what the prices
Sorry.
are gonna be, but in that video, the girl was like, "It's like half off
Okay.
because they're secondhand." You know. I want
Well,
to get
let's
a
figure it
camera.
out.
I want to buy a camera.
Let's figure it out. All right. Well, that'll be all for me for today. Be on notice when we come back in 2 hours. Hopefully, it will be on Will's channel.
That's right.
And
Will
if
be
we don't,
streaming.
and if we don't stream something, we'll most likely just like film it and make vlog content out of it. But yeah, go to stream, go to first day in China. Well, technically it's our second day, but first day in China, and we'll see you on the other side, everybody. All right, let me run the outro.
Wait. For those of you who watch the Fear Am podcast,
Yeah.
the Patreon specifically, I will be filming an exclusive hotel review of every hotel that we stay at along
Yeah.
this journey, where I'll be giving a very in-depth tour of our hotel rooms and a comprehensive review
Yeah.
of the
Everyone's
everybody's-
begging for it.
I know everybody's on the edge of their seat
I'm on the edge of my seat.
to give my true opinions on our
Anyways, peace, everybody. Love you all, and we'll see you on the other side. Bye bye. Bye bye.
Sunny Los Angeles.
And what I want, and probably what you're alluding to, is the fact that I want, instead of going to the insurance companies, I want the money to go into an account for people where the people buy their own health insurance. It's so good. The insurance will be better. It'll cost.
Please stop using VPN. You might get sentenced to labor camp. That's really funny, man. I think the real threat here is not whatever fucking made up shit that you decided that the Chinese government is going to do, but actually coming back to the United States of America. The vids are doing numbers on Bilibili the last hour, though the official channel is kind of a flop so far. That's crazy. The official channel is doing worse than the Hasanabi Clips Industrial Complex on Bilibili. But I'll take it. I don't care.
Less. Everybody's going to be happy. They're going to feel like entrepreneurs. They're actually able to go out and negotiate their own health insurance. And they can use it only for that reason. That's the beauty, only for that purpose. And if we did that, that would be so exciting. Call it Trump care, call it whatever you want to call it, but anything but Obamacare. Obamacare is a disaster, just like he was as a president.
How do
Call it Trump care, baby. I don't care. Do it. Fucking do it. You won't, pussy. I'm skipping the Marjorie Taylor Greene thing.
Will be unaffordable for working class Americans, middle class Americans, and everyday Americans to be able to go see a doctor when they need one. And we'll continue to wage this fight. No matter what comes over to us from the United States Senate to the House of Representatives at some point this week.
That was House Democratic leader Hakeem Jeffries. The Speaker of the House told House members this morning that they need to start heading back to D.C. now, given that they may, of course, run into trouble as they fly back to vote this week, because the shutdown's impact on our air travel continues to worsen, as anyone who attempted to fly this weekend can tell you, following last week's FAA order to reduce domestic flights at 40 airports. As of this morning, commercial airlines have canceled more than 5,000 flights that were scheduled from yesterday through this Wednesday. Around 10% of scheduled flights were canceled yesterday, making it the fourth worst day for cancellations this year. Today, reports of staffing issues at air traffic control facilities have gone up to at least 36, causing widespread delays. Even if the shutdown is resolved this week, we should note, experts say to expect residual impacts on travel, with Thanksgiving, of course, right around the corner. But let's start right now our show on Capitol Hill with the Speaker of the House, Mike Johnson. Speaker Johnson, thanks for being here. We appreciate it. So every Republican in the House, every single one, which doesn't happen very often, voted for the clean government funding bill on September 19th. Will they all vote for this compromise, do you think?
I believe they will. The long national nightmare is almost coming to an end now, the beginning of the end, as I said this morning in my press conference. It was long overdue, and the irony is, Jake, it really was a shutdown about nothing. I mean, what we're voting on is effectively exactly what we offered them several weeks back. We've added some appropriations bills now, which we're in favor of because it's getting us back to the regular order. We'll take care of some other details, but I don't think Chuck Schumer got anything out of this other than a political show, and sadly, I think that's what he was after the whole time.
So a source on today's House GOP conference call said that you told members that you're hoping for a Wednesday House vote to reopen the government. The shutdown, air travel chaos, obviously, is a, you can't predict that.
It's a challenge for us, for sure. I'd like to vote tonight after the Senate is done, but it takes everybody a while to get back. We have people come from the West Coast. We have a member flying in from Guam, so he has 20 hours just to get to the West Coast and then get here. So we've got to get everybody back. We're praying that they can make it through the chaos that all the other American people have been made to suffer through because of this needless political show that the Democrats have been engaging in.
But you'll wait until you have the votes before you have the vote.
We need to get everybody back. I mean, everybody in both parties, and I've told them to start the travel earlier today. So I expect and hope that we'll have everybody here.
So the Senate bill is setting a date for a Senate vote on extending the Obamacare subsidies, which are set to expire at the end of the year. You have not committed to a separate House vote on the issue. 13 of your most vulnerable members, as you know, wrote a letter to you saying that after the shutdown, quote, we should immediately turn focus to the growing crisis of healthcare affordability and the looming expiration of the Enhanced Affordable Care Act premium tax credits. While we did not create this crisis, we now have both the responsibility and the opportunity to address it. That's 13 members. Are you going to listen to them?
Yeah, I've been in contact with those members and all of our members throughout the entire ordeal that we've been going through. This is a very important point. We were always open to sitting down to negotiate and talk through how to reduce healthcare costs. It's a crisis for the American people. The cost have skyrocketed. It's the Democrats who put us into this scenario. Remember, they're the ones that created the ACA. We call it the Unaffordable Care Act, because that's exactly what's been yielded. Since 2010, since they put it into law, premiums have skyrocketed, some estimates 60% overall, and they're continuing to go up.
Well, premiums were skyrocketing before Obamacare, too.
Not at this pace, and the problem is now it's becoming completely unaffordable for more and more people. The Democrat solution is to subsidize the broken system. We would like to go in and look at the root causes of why those costs are so high, and we've been doing that. It's not just talking points. We have had laws signed into law, this Congress, that have begun to chip away at that. There's a lot more yet to do, but we've got to build consensus between the parties. It should be bipartisan. We're looking forward to that.
That's a long-term issue, though, what you're talking about. You're not going to be able to solve this issue of skyrocketing premiums, not just in Obamacare, for everything. Well, premiums are going up in Obamacare, yes. They're also going up for people not in Obamacare, for like me and you.
Well, there's short-term solutions and longer-term solutions.
Right,
You're right. It's very complicated.
But on the short-term issue of the people who with the subsidies, and that's going to expire at the end of the year, will you have a vote on the issue as your 13 Republicans, frontline Republicans, people that you're the speaker because of them?
Yes.
They're in districts that are vulnerable.
Sure.
Will you have a vote so they can vote?
The very people that you were citing in the letter believe we have to have real reforms. So what I'm committed to, and I have all along, this has never changed, is a deliberative process that we do in the House. We have a very small margin. Majorities, whomever has the majority now in this era is going to have a small margin, and so it requires the involvement of a lot of members. See, the problem that I had with Chuck Schumer and Hakeem Jeffries is Leader Schumer was insisting that I go into a back room, Leader Thune and I go into a back room with he and Jeffries and do a four corners agreement to fix this. It's not possible. It was never appropriate to do that on a short-term funding measure. We needed the month of October.
Why not? Oh, that's right. It's because it's not advancing the interests of the super wealthy. That's why. Because you love, will you go eat Peking duck? Yes. Because these guys love backroom dealing when it comes down to, you know, deregulatory agenda items. They love backroom dealings when it's about melting the poor, you know, initiatives that revolve around melting the fucking poor. They just simply can never get their ducks in order, their ducks in a row, when it's actually about advancing an agenda that will, in the interim, help alleviate some of the burdens off of the shoulder of the working class. That is the fucking name of the game. Here, I'll give you another example of this, okay? One of the modest initiatives that the Biden administration advanced was cutting out the unnecessarily costly middleman in terms of when it came down to like people doing their taxes, right? And lo and behold, the IRS Direct File Initiative, the electronic system for filing tax returns for free, will not be offered next year, the Trump administration has confirmed. And I said, even the most marginal alleviation of burden from the working class will be clawed back by force if a corporation can profit from it. They got no issues breaking shit. None whatsoever. Can you walk around China with your belly hanging out so we can see? I mean, so you look like a Chinese unk? Oh, that's funny. Can you go play with the unks? Yeah. That is real, but it's just too cold for that right now. Chatter.
Over December to work through this. And ironically, because of his shenanigans, they've now taken all that time off the clock. So we have a lot more important work to do in a shorter time period.
Congressman Don Bacon, who's retiring of Nebraska, he's been working with Congressman Tom Suozzi, a moderate Democrat from New York, about this exact issue, about reforms on these subsidies, means testing, having the payments directly go to the insurance companies instead of to the businesses than the insurance companies. Is that something you're willing to let come up for a vote?
That's one of many ideas that are on the table. The problem is when you're subsidizing insurance companies, they just jack the rates up even higher. I mean, we've been seeing this over and over and over. So the solution is, again, to get at the root causes. I'll give you an example. In the big, beautiful bill, the Working Families.
Oh, that's right. We just, you know, the insurance companies just keep jacking up the fucking prices. Okay, do you have any solutions to that? No, I don't. And it's a good thing that they're able to do that. We should actually deregulate this further, you know, so that we can let the free market do its thing.
Tax cut, we had the Medicaid reforms. So as we've discussed many times, what we did was we went in to eliminate the fraud, waste, and abuse and drive down the cost. The CBO, the Congressional Budget Office, evaluated that and said, you know what, that's right, it will achieve that. It'll save $185 billion for taxpayers because you got ineligible enrollees off the system. We need to do that same thing across the board through healthcare. We tried that in the big, beautiful bill when it went over to the Senate in the House version. We included a cost-sharing reduction program that would have reduced premiums 12.7% overall on average nationwide. Yeah. The Democrats fought in the Senate to take it out of the bill. So there are a lot of ideas that we'd like to bring back to the table because that will actually solve the problem and not just subsidize insurance companies.
So you're not committing to bringing up a bill that deals with the Obamacare subsidies before they expire?
I'm not committing to it or not committing to it. What I'm saying is that we do a deliberative process. That's the way this always works, and we have to have time to do that, and we will in a bipartisan fashion.
If something passes the Senate, it would only pass on a bipartisan basis. Yeah. Would you bring it up?
Well, the bill that's going to pass
to extend the subsidies, that later vote.
I can't commit to anything that hasn't even passed through the Senate yet. I mean, I've never done that. I'm very consistent. I've been Speaker for over 2 years, and one of the reasons I've held the gavel is because I don't go out and predetermine outcomes. It's a member-driven institution, as it should be, and I'm really insistent about that. We got to get back to regular order, and that's what we're doing here.
President Trump today on Truth Social said that air traffic controllers should get back to work. He said he's going to recommend a $10,000 bonus for any controllers who took no time off. And he said, well, anyone who doesn't show up will be substantially docked. He then went on to say, quote, "For those that did nothing but complain and took time off, even though everyone knew they would be paid in full shortly into the future, I am not happy with you," all caps. Now, as the Transportation Secretary, Sean Duffy, has said to me on my show and to plenty of other people, these air traffic controllers, some of them called into work and said they couldn't come in because they had to take a job as an Uber Eats driver or a Lyft driver just to put gas in their car so they could get to work the next day.
Yeah.
Do you think the president realizes this?
I think he does. I spent some time yesterday talking to my good friend Sean Duffy, who's a former colleague, now the Secretary of Transportation, and I was with the president last night. We have a lot of sympathy for the people who have, at great personal sacrifice, gone to the towers, gone to work, and done their job. The president wants to reward that, and that I appreciate that sentiment. It would take an act of Congress, I'm sure, to make that happen, but it's the right idea.
But he says, "I am not happy with you," all caps. I mean,
well, look, on an individual basis, there may be some people that abuse the program, but I mean, it wasn't just air traffic controllers, of course. I mean, we asked Border Patrol agents, TSA agents, and many other categories of federal employees, including all the employees that keep this place in operation.
Capitol Hill police officers, right?
All of them, the ones that are protecting us right now. I mean, they've been working without pay, and so we have great sympathy for them. We'd like to reward that any way we can. It's a patriotic duty that they filled for their country.
When the House returns, so I guess presumably Wednesday, if your prayers come true Wednesday,
yes.
When are you going to swear in Congresswoman-elect Adelita Grijalva of Arizona, who was elected way back in September?
Yeah, just as I promised, as soon as we get back to legislative session. So, I mean, before we have this vote that we're talking about, she'll be administered the oath. That's
After the House gavels in, but before the vote?
Right, yeah, sure, as soon as we get started, yeah.
And then she has said that she is going to be the 218th vote to force the discharge petition to release the Epstein files, et cetera, et cetera.
She has the right. I mean, that's immaterial to us. It's now a moot point, by the way. The Oversight Committee has been delving in deeply to the Epstein investigation, and they've released 43,000 pages of the Epstein files, more to come. Subpoenas are being complied with. By the way, the latest batch was the Epstein estate files that is not even considered in the discharge petition, was never mentioned. But that was a treasure trove of information, and they released his personal logs, his flight logs, his financial records, and even his daily calendar. So there's plenty of oversight. All of that information is going to be released to the public. The only thing they're redacting, Jake, is the names of the innocent victims.
Sure.
And we insisted upon that, and everybody of common sense understands why that is.
Of course, the survivors. Speaker Rick Johnson, thank you so much. Really appreciate your time. I hope the government opens.
Yes, me too.
CNN's Caitlin Collins is at the White House right now. Caitlin, President Trump was playing hardball with Democrats and with the public in many ways when it came to fighting to prevent SNAP benefits from being paid and on and on. How is President Trump feeling about this deal?
Well, also with Republicans, Jake, I mean, he was posting nonstop over the weekend about getting rid of the filibuster, regardless of what happens here. And so when we went to the Oval Office earlier today, I asked the president whether or not this deal that is making its way on Capitol Hill right now through the Senate, as Manu just noted there, whether or not it has his backing. And this is what he told us.
Mr. President, do you personally approve of the deal that's happening right now on Capitol Hill to end the government?
Well, it depends what deal we're talking about. But if it's a deal I heard about, that's certainly, they want to change the deal a little bit. But I would say so. I think based on everything I'm hearing, they haven't changed anything. And we have support from enough Democrats. And we're going to be opening up our country. It's too bad it was closed, but we'll be opening up our country very quickly.
Now, obviously, Jake, for the government to be fully reopened, it's got to make its way through the Senate, then go over to the House, which has not voted in nearly 2 months before it comes over here for President Trump's signature there. But he was signaling that, yes, they do have the Democrats on board for this. And Jake, as Manu noted, the Democrats are not getting their chief demand here, which is an extension of those ACA subsidies. And the president mentioned that and referenced that in the Oval Office earlier because there were 3 Republican senators standing there by the Resolute desk, Senator Katie Britt, Jim Risch, and Lindsey Graham. And he said that Republican senators are going to be working on a health care resolution here. He said working very hard on that in a short order. But Jake, obviously, there's huge questions of what that's going to look like.
How ironic if the Freedom Caucus or Libertarians fuck up the vote. There's no shot. They didn't do it last time either. CNN, was the shutdown worth it? Hakeem Jeffrey says yes. We have waged a battle on behalf of the American people. I know. I saw that. I saw that clip. She brought the filibuster and they played a fucking clip of her asking him nothing about the filibuster.
Republican.
Oh, the other thing is like Bernie Sanders obviously is like anti-filibuster abolition as well, which is lame, but it is what it is.
Plan here when it came to addressing these healthcare costs that have been rising, what that's going to look like. And this has obviously been something that has been, you know, a long time saga ever since Donald Trump's first term in office. And so whether or not there is any solution in sight, given what the House Speaker Mike Johnson told you and what we've been hearing from Republicans, still remains to be seen, as that deadline at the end of December of when these extensions and these subsidies expire, what's going to look like after that is anyone's guess right now.
Caitlin Collins, thanks so much. And don't miss Caitlin on her show, The Source with Caitlin Collins. Tonight she's sitting down with Democratic Congressman Jamie Raskin of Maryland, the head Democrat on the House Judiciary Committee. That's tonight at 9 Eastern on CNN. Joining us now here live on Capitol Hill, Independent Senator Bernie Sanders. He voted no on last night's deal. Thank you for being here, Senator Sanders. I was noting that you should have those famous, the famous mittens that you have from the inaugural meme. You're about to go cast.
Get some Arterix, Unc. What was the jacket he was wearing that everyone was making a fucking socialist, but has a $300 jacket, by the way, type shit?
Your vote on the floor of the Senate, you're going to vote no. You and Democratic Senator Tammy Baldwin of Wisconsin are going to try to force a vote to extend the Obamacare subsidies. How would that happen?
Very simple.
Do you need 60 votes or 51?
We're going to need, on this one, 60 votes.
60 votes.
All right, and it is absolutely common sense. I think no sane person wants to see 20+ million people see a doubling in their health care premiums and pave the way for 15 million Americans to lose their health care through...
Why is Jake Tapper interviewing the 80-year-old man outside? This is ageist, and I can't prove it, but this is also anti-Semitic.
Massive cuts.
He's from Vermont, bro. He's used to it. Down to the freaking bones, you know? This is the type of shit that Bernie rocks with. That's why he's got all the cool jackets.
So all that we're doing is saying...
He will shit on Chuck Schumer here.
You know, after 4 years of being president before, after 4 years...
He just straight up said Chuck Schumer represents a different vision for the Democratic Party that I do not care for, and that he's wrong. This is an incredibly powerful statement, because like all the people that are like shitting on Chuck Schumer are, for the most part, coming from the House of Representatives. Bernie is an independent, but he's a senator. He's an independent senator that caucuses with the Democrats, that ran for president in the Democratic ticket. So for him to come out and say this is huge. Okay?
Out of office. After a year as president, he's now beginning to think about the healthcare crisis facing America. Very, very good. All right, why don't we just simply extend the Affordable Care Act for another year and take that year to decide what way forward for America. As you know, Jake, we are the only major country on earth not to guarantee health care to all people, despite spending twice as much per person as any other country. I happen to believe that the solution is Medicare for all, expanding Medicare to cover every man, woman, and child. It's the cost-effective way to do it. Republicans have another idea. Let's debate it. But let's address the crisis in healthcare.
So there are 48 Democrats. Do I have that number right?
47.
47 Democrats. I mean, you'll need 13 Republicans.
Right. Do I think we're going to get it? No, but I think we're going to put them on the record, going on record and saying, look, we are voting now to force 20 million Americans to see a doubling in their healthcare premiums. If they want to cast that vote, that's their business.
So I had the Speaker of the House on not long ago, I mean, just minutes ago, and he said that Schumer didn't get anything out of the deal. Do you agree?
Basically. Well, it wasn't Schumer. I mean, you had 8 Democrats who, for a variety of reasons, decided not to continue the fight. And needless to say, I think that was a terrible, terrible mistake. I think what Tuesday's election showed is the American people are sick and tired of Trumpism. The idea that we have a president now who is prepared to literally starve children and illegally cut back, refuse to expend SNAP money is outrageous. And the idea that you have a president now who wants to double premiums for 20 million Americans is equally outrageous. We had the American people on our side. We should have continued that fight. I think the Republicans would have yielded.
Are you ever going to explain yourself? What do you mean? For what? Are you talking to Bernie or are you talking to me? Because I think we both do a good deal of explaining ourselves.
Schumer voted no, or is going to vote no, along with you. He did last night. He's going to do it again. But a lot of Democrats are blaming him because he is the leader of the Democrats in the Senate. And some of your allies, like Congressman Ro Khanna of California and others, are saying Schumer should step down from his position as Democratic leader in the Senate. Do you still have confidence in him as leader of the Senate?
Look, Schumer and I have very fundamental disagreements about where the Democratic Party should be. And I am strongly supporting candidates for the Senate who are not part of the Democratic establishment, who believe in Medicare for all, who are prepared to take on the big money interests and fight for working people. All right, I have a very different vision of where the Democratic Party should go. If Schumer steps down, who is going to take his place? The truth is, progressives in the Senate right now are I think there are about 8 or 9 of us. We are pretty much of a minority.
I want you to take a listen to the Senate highest ranking Democrat in the Senate, Dick Durbin, who's retiring next year. He voted yes on the deal. Take a listen to what he had to say.
I've served in the Senate for 29 years, and I've never...
Yeah, that's the problem, man. Wait, hold on. Oh, we got plan changes. Hold on.
In my view, move to a Medicare
Stop
for all
picking your nose,
single-payer
damn.
program.
No, I'm pulling my mustache. I have long, dangly mustache hairs that sometimes get annoying. And I just like pull it out.
Your fellow independent from New England, Senator Angus King, was asked this morning to respond to your criticisms of the Democrats who voted yes last night. He said, his response was, "What's your strategy, man?" And, quote, "Standing up to Donald Trump didn't work."
Well, maybe Angus didn't notice the elections on Tuesday. I thought that they worked pretty well. Maybe Angus is not noticing the polling, which shows that correctly people understand that Republicans control the White House, the Senate, and the House. They are holding Republicans accountable. And you got to stand firm. This is tough stuff. And Angus is right. A lot of people are hurting. Nobody feels good about this. Nobody feels good about federal employees not getting a paycheck. But we are winning, in my view. I think the Republicans are on the defensive. And in my view, it was the vote that Angus cast was the wrong vote.
All right, Senator Bernie Sanders, independent from the great state of Vermont. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
Senator, you say you're fighting on the Affordable Care Act, but what do you say to your colleagues who say this isn't a fight, this is a capitulation? You're agreeing to a vote on a bill that it almost certainly will not become law, and you're allowing that to happen.
Well, first of all, as long as the government shut down, the clear statement from Senator Thune.
No, we're not heading out at 10 any longer. The star doesn't seem straight. Yes, it's not. It's a bit janky, I will admit, this hat. But I fixed it. But we're not heading out any longer. We're doing it later.
And the Republican majority, and they control the Senate, the House, the White House, was we will not talk about health care with you. So there was no vote that we were going to get on the Affordable Care Act, premium tax credits. We have a guaranteed vote by a guaranteed date on a bill that we will write. Not that the Republicans will write, although I do think it's important for us to engage with them because we need a bipartisan bill that we know is going to get enacted to provide the relief that Americans need. And I think there's a commitment on the part of many of our colleagues to do that.
But there's no guarantee this will become law.
There was never a guarantee that it would become law.
Just to follow up on that, Senator, because we understand that this vote will happen, but a vote on the extending the tax credits, it does not guarantee that it's going to happen. So how do you explain, though, to your constituents why it was?
Hello, everyone. I'm Dana Perino, along with Kellyanne Conway, Jessica Tarlov, Joy Jones, and Greg Gutfeld. It's 5 o'clock in New York City, and this.
That's my mood. That's my mood. You guys see that? That's my moody mood. Jessica.
This is the 5.
Wait, when is later? What time? Us Europeans need to know around what time. 1 p.m. Like 12:30 p.m. But I haven't, but I don't know.
Opening up our country very quickly.
Mr. President, that deal does reverse the mass firings your administration put through during the shutdown. Did you sign off on that, and will you abide by that if this passes?
Well, I will be. I'll abide by the deal. The deal is very good.
Even though Schumer voted no, the knives are out. Progressives are turning him into the scapegoat for a deal that doesn't lock in any guarantee on Obamacare subsidies. Lawmakers like Seth Moulton and Ro Khanna are calling for Schumer to be replaced. Others airing out their grievances with the bipartisan deal.
Oh, I think this whole thing stinks. And I think most members of the House caucus on the Democratic side are absolutely outraged.
We'll continue that fight today, tomorrow, this week, next week, this month, next month, this year, next year.
What this Senate is about to do is make a horrific situation even worse.
There's no way to defend this. And you are right to be angry about it. I'm angry about it.
And some folks in the liberal...
I heart eating shit. Oh, you mean the Democratic Party's resounding message that they're going to carry over to the midterms coming up? I heart eating shit, and you should too. You have no options. You must vote for the love eating shit party. Please keep eating this shit, because otherwise the opposition is eating more shit. Do you want to eat shit by the spoonful or by the shovelful is the option here. Fucking awesome. Fucking awesome. And the craziest part about it is that, better things are possible. We have seen it. Okay? And that's what the Democrats, I think, like the establishment in both parties, fear the most. They fear that you will hope for a better future. They fear that, if you find the courage within yourself, if you recognize that we do have the capability to fix things, to make things better for the working class, for example, all of a sudden you're going to start demanding it more and more. You're going to start voting in candidates that will actually do that. And then that actually compromises the position. There is nothing as dangerous as the threat of a better alternative. Never forget that. The threat of a better alternative was presented by Bernie Sanders in 2016, and they fucking hated him for it. And that momentum continued to grow, albeit not as fast as you would want it, not as exponential as you would have hoped. But that momentum has carried over year, and after a sequence of horrible defeats, even the liberal voter base of the Democratic Party, the self-identifying liberals, are also recognizing that things are horrible and that the centrist Democrats are constantly selling them out.
You want to see Schumer go.
The president is kind of getting what he wanted. It doesn't feel like a gentleman's agreement. It feels like Lucy and the football.
Now you're going to open the government up, and what did you get in return?
Right.
Nothing?
Right.
Nothing? This is the end of Chuck Schumer as we go forward.
I think Chuck Schumer, his days are over. If he cannot keep his caucus together, he needs to go. He needs to be replaced.
All right, we've got to have a great discussion. Kellyanne, on the day that this began, I said, we know how this is going to end. It will end with the Democrats having a cave because they don't have the votes. And in the end, it does. But Schumer walked himself into this situation. And now, do you think he'll have to go?
Probably, at least as the minority leader. He's been in politics, Dana, for 50 years, and it's starting to show. So you were correct on day one. You knew how it was going to end. The question was always, when would it end? And it ended almost 40 days later with the exact deal that the Republicans offered 35 days before and were rejected by the Democrats. There's no way to spin it. They caved, they capitulated, they should claim strategic bankruptcy. This is a party bereft of leadership, of vision, of ideas. And Chuck Schumer's had a terrible week. This was just the capper. His week started out with him not even acknowledging whether he voted for Mandami for.
Nothing I hate more than the Republicans being correct. Okay? I can't begin to explain to you how much I despise being in an environment where some of these media demons on the right happen to make the correct assessment. It is so fucked up, dude. These guys are assholes. They are assholes. The fact that we are giving these assholes not only a W, but also allowing them any kind of room to make correct statements about the state of affairs within the Democratic Party. Very frustrating. It's like, on the one hand, you got the Kellyanne Conways of the world making the correct assessment about Chuck Schumer's ineptitude. On the other hand, you got the Gavin Newsoms of the world taking advantage of the momentum and saying that the Democrats are pathetic. I hate that both, okay? I am terrified of a Gavin Newsom presidency. I think it is exactly the establishment Democrat dream. I know what it looks like to live under the banner of gruesome Governor Gavin Newsom. His worst issue is the most consequential one. It's housing. And yet, more and more liberals are getting on the Gavin train because he keeps saying the right things. He keeps tapping into the frustrations that people have. It's very, very frustrating. Welcome to China. I've been here for like 6 years. It's absolutely the best. It's incredible to live in a country with competent governance. Yeah. New Hakeem Jeffries clip will make your eyes roll all the way to the back. I already watched this. It was really bad. New YouGov poll. All of Zoran's policies have major national support. What? A new YouGov survey finds that nationally, Mamdani's policies are actually quite popular, including 57% support for government-owned grocery stores. What? What? This is nationally, not just New York City. What? Oh. Raising taxes on corporations and millionaires. Strongly support 52%. Some will support 17%. Some would oppose 10%. Strongly oppose 14%. Not sure 8%. It's not like people are even unsure. It's not like there's even a large percentage of the population that's like, yeah, I can go either way. People are just like, no, this is what I fucking want. This is what I want really bad. 52% strongly support is crazy. It's crazy. This is straight up lies. We've been told we need more CIA policies in the last 50 years. Implementing childcare for every child aged 6 weeks to 5 years. 42% strongly support. Raising the minimum wage to $30 by 2030. 39% strongly support. Creating a network of government-owned grocery stores. 30% strongly support. I'm telling you, man. These are modest expansions of already existing social safety nets. And the very fact that there is an incredible amount of support for all of it is not even remotely shocking. This is why I said the Zoran method is replicable everywhere. And it doesn't mean it's going to always be the exact same policies, because like you have to adjust it to whatever the local needs are. Okay. But they certainly can make for a pretty decent national campaign. Why wouldn't it be? Why wouldn't it be? Like even the permanently eliminating the fares on public buses has 27% strong support, 26% somewhat support. So even that reaches above 50%. Every single key policy position Zoran has advanced has majority support nationwide. Nationwide, not just New York. I wonder why Bernie Sanders is the most popular politician in the fucking country, you know? How shocking, how surprising. I thought Zoran's success was not replicable. Bro, I live in Utah, and the most surprising thing I heard about Park City was that they have free public transportation. Wait, what do you mean? Why is that surprising? Rich people go and fucking ski there, of course. Half of the stuff that Zoran Mamdani wants to do in New York is stuff that you literally pay for and you get, and it works perfectly well. Or, like, think about it this way. Fast and free buses. Where does that exist in the United States of America? College campuses and Disneyland. Okay? Like think ski resorts. Ski resorts where rich white people go to. It already exists. Okay? That's it. These are replicable ideas because they already exist. Another thing, government-owned grocery stores is seen as this like incredible thing. Oh my God, it's communism. It's like, yeah, you know where we have government-owned grocery stores? Every fucking state in the goddamn nation. It's called the commissary. Every military base has one. It's just a willingness issue, okay? It makes sense and it works. The problem is people constantly want to plug their ears and go, nah, it doesn't work, bro. Shut the fuck up. No shot. No fucking shot. Yeah, they have government-run liquor stores too, but that's besides the point.
Mayor,
That's
a
a
fellow
tax thing.
Brooklynite, and wouldn't even endorse him. And then, of course, he's made nobody happy. The so-called moderates, the 8 aren't happy. The progressives aren't happy. And I think if you're Schumer, you also have to realize that this did nothing for the party's identity crisis of which he is in the center. Because if the entire strategy is get Trump, he just got you. He played you completely. Dana, what I don't understand.
Oh, they're closing hundreds of commissaries and trying to privatize them? I know. Speaking of which, the Trump administration is trying to create a mutiny situation. At a time of like unprecedented affordability crisis, the Donald Trump administration is actively trying to make the lives of armed service members harder, which is really funny because like on the one end, they just keep pissing off the generals, okay, by being like, you're all fat and you're all woke and you need to listen to Pete Hegseth, who's hot and sexy and young and knows what he's talking about, okay? On the other hand, they're like, also, oh, are you guys having a hard time? Well, don't worry. We're going to make it fucking worse by skyrocketing the price of groceries by privatizing them. Like, where does this go? I do not know, but it does seem kind of funny. It's like, it's almost like a playbook of like, what are the worst things you could possibly do? Okay? Because without the military, you're fucked, right? Like when all else fails, right? When it's utter bedlam, when it's utter chaos, there's a reason why these guys are all fucking moving to military bases, right? They're moving to military bases because they're like, well, if the public actually inevitably rises up against us in like some sort of, you know, militant, violent revolution or something like that, you know, at least we'll be protected by the military. Okay, but you're also pissing off the fucking military. Like, it's just so interesting that they're not covering their bases at all, it almost feels like.
And the Democrats wanted to die on this hill. It's always the hill for illegal immigrants. First, you lied that the border was secure, and you let in millions and millions and millions of them. They got all kinds of benefits the rest of us can't get. Then you stood there and said, we're going to stop lawful deportations.
Who's moving to a military base? Stephen Miller did. A bunch of high level. I think JD Vance did, right? Gonna make us on Raw Dog IRL in China this week. Oh, don't worry, I'm ready. I already Raw Dog IRL. I already went. You missed it. We went to Tiananmen Square for the flag raising ceremony. Marco Rubio, Kirsty Noem, Pam Bondi. It's a suspicious number of high-level administration officials that have moved to military bases. It actually is weird. It's weird as fuck, bro.
Unlawful people. And now you said we're going to shut down the government to make sure that they get Obamacare subsidies and premiums. And they got absolutely nothing out of it except a headache. If you're Chuck Schumer, you've got to realize this party elected people last week in blue states who never invited Chuck Schumer or Kamala Harris or Hillary Clinton or Bill Clinton to campaign with them. It's a party at odds with themselves. They picked the wrong fight. And I think after 14 CRs going for Joe Biden, they can't turn around and do the same thing for the president. If you're upset, everybody, if you're upset because your flight was canceled, because somebody didn't get a check, you don't know if you're going
Dog, clean CRs 14 times for Joe Biden. It's not like there was a genuine agenda item that they opposed. Like, what are you supposed to? And they opposed it anyway. But half the time, the Republicans didn't even need to oppose because the Democrats were too busy fighting amongst themselves. The very same rotating villain structure that exists right now that is pissing off a lot of liberals existed back then too. And that made it so that like the Biden agenda was already undermined and crippled before it even got to the Republican side, before it even achieved any sort of Republican resistance. And the Republicans could stay unified and say, yeah, we don't want better things. We don't want any infrastructure spending. We don't want any spending whatsoever because the Democrats were too busy fucking it up.
Day. You only have one party to blame, and it's the Democrats.
I want to get to a bigger picture about the American people with Joey, but let me go to you first, Jessica, about this, because what are you hearing? Is there a serious drumbeat about Schumer leaving, or is that just people airing out their frustration for a day?
It's going to be way more than a day. So you remember what it was like after he voted to keep the government open back in March, and people thought, okay, well, let's kind of see how this goes. And it did feel actually surrounding this issue in particular that the caucus was feeling decent about his leadership. Yes, he was not the #1 surrogate out there on the campaign trail, but Democrats were coming off of a very good electoral week. So the big tent was in, full regalia. I was at a liberal conference on Friday, and people were pretty high on the idea that we were winning races. Yes, in some blue states, but also in Mississippi.
I hypothesize about what a strong Dem party should have done here. I mean, I did every day. I did. There's no hypothesis. They accidentally lucked into it anyway without doing much. Because the people were already on board. They correctly blamed the Republicans for the fucking shutdown. And then Democrats took ownership over it for no fucking reason. It blows my mind. It's genuinely amazing that Trump was being forced to shut down a bunch of airports and flights because of funding. And Democrats, right before Thanksgiving, when they would have had insane amounts of leverage, went, cool, let's cave. Being a supporter of the Democratic Party in 2025. Being a supporter of the Democratic Party every year is like this. There is no reason to hypothesize. There's no reason for hypothesis. Trump is literally as unpopular as Biden was at his worst, and the Democrats said, let's cave. Like, a lot of people will look at this and go, oh, look at these guys. They don't give a shit. Look at these libtards. They obviously don't care about people starving. It's like, dude, the Republicans don't care about people starving. That's the reason why it's this low right now. Okay? Like, what are we talking about? What are we fucking talking about, dude? The Republicans did, like, Gilded Age parties, Great Gatsby parties on the one side, while simultaneously telling the Supreme Court, we must starve the working poor. 42 million Americans. We will take away the additional SNAP contingency that exists for moments exactly like this one. Like, they went to the Supreme Court and they forced the Supreme Court to fucking put a pause on it, dude. What are we talking about? People were fucking very pissed off. It's just so weird how every single... I can't believe it. Tim trying to intellectualize this L, meanwhile, the actual takeaway. Yeah. Why did the Dems fold when the shutdown was hurting Trump? Matt Iglesias says it's because they felt guilty. The public blamed Trump, but they blamed themselves and felt bad. If true, that's clear indication that they lack the requisite fortitude to play political hardball. I mean, that's an idiotic assessment. They did not fucking feel bad. That's ridiculous. Oh, they actually felt bad. Sure.
On Obamacare, you raised several times during this shutdown debate that it's clear.
Someone should tell Trump that if he actually wants to erode Obama's legacy, he should do socialized healthcare. Okay? Someone should be like, Mr. Trump, Mr. President, do you really want to make Obama look bad? Do socialized health, do the public option. Shred it. Shred the private healthcare industry. Cut it across piece by piece. Rebuild a solid socialized medicine infrastructure in this country, socialized healthcare infrastructure in this country. It's true. Call it Trump care, baby. I will fucking gladly, I will ride for that, okay?
This was never going to work without these massive subsidies. Now they wanted to continue the...
Yeah, private healthcare is woke and gay. Private healthcare is the wokest and gayest thing I can think of, dude. We want anti-woke socialized medicine. That's what we want. We want anti-woke Medicare for all. MAGA care, Trump care, whatever. Oh my God. You go to the doctor and the doctor's like, you go to the doctor and if you ask the doctor to call you by your pronouns, you actually get billed, but it's free if you don't. No pronouns. None. No he, him, no she, her, nothing. Like you have to, it's a totally new way to communicate. Fuck it. It's impossible to communicate with one another, but at least you get free healthcare. Med beds.
COVID subsidies. So given the fact that Obamacare really can't survive as they thought without these subsidies, what next?
Well, I watched Obama from when this thing came about. As you know, I opposed it very strongly. Unfortunately, we had a couple of negative votes, which should never have happened. But I said it's going to be a disaster, and I was exactly right. The premiums have gone up like rocket ships, and I'm not just talking about recently. I'm talking about for years they've been going up. And he said premiums will go down, everything will be wonderful. It's horrible health insurance at a very high price.
Guys, who would have thought